well, and this hits the nail on the head with the real problem here. I mean, through the Electric Power Act, MECL has the duty to meet the needs, the power needs, the electricity needs of island consumers. And I mean, even before February 4th, 2023, where we saw that 394 megawatt peak, you had already issued a study that said you needed at least 85 megawatts more. So that's 3 years ago, basically. But you didn't even put an application into IRAC until March 2025 to help solve that problem. I mean, I even asked questions in the legislature a year ago saying, what are we going to do if brownouts and blackouts come to PEI? What's going to happen? And so it's been at least 3 years that we've known that these are coming down the pipe. Now islanders are sitting there with brownouts and blackouts pending, and we've known about this, and you're saying, well, the solution's 3 years out, right? So how come it took so long to get this planning in place? We've known for 3 years we could have had these built by now.
Well, it's something that I've been working on since 2019 and communicating that capacity is part of the mix.
But here we are. We've got brownouts and blackouts. So what went wrong? Yeah. Like, who's accountable for this, right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody like you guys do the duties of public utilities in the Electric Power Act. That's your responsibility. And you missed the mark here, and somebody's got to take accountability for it. So how come it's taken so long to make this happen? You've known about the problem for years and years. You said 2019. Yeah. So why are we where we're at right now? How come you haven't fixed it?
So that's his final question. So if you have an answer for that, we'll go on to Peter Bevan-Baker next. But do you have any answer for that?
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is these projects don't happen without significant levels of support. And, over the years, I'll say even with successive governments, the level of support for adding generation, on Prince Edward Island has not been that strong. And, we've been fortunate where, in the early years, 3 or 4, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the capacity deficit wasn't that significant. Over the last few years, we've seen the old Charlottetown thermal station come offline, 60 megawatts gone. We've seen significant load growth through electrification, and
it's your job to address that.
We've been having those conversations and advocating for support in those areas. But we have seen comments in the past publicly not expressing support for these types of projects. So that leads us to continue ongoing discussions, right? We don't advocate or negotiate or discuss these things through the media. We have these discussions through regular government briefings, and we try and advocate for these projects. We're at the point now where we are in a challenge, right? Again, as I said before, this is not necessarily unique to Prince Edward Island. Like, all jurisdictions are dealing with this, right? And it takes time for these things to get approved.
So I am going to go to Peter Bevan-Baker, but just to note for the record, Maritime Electric has been at different committee meetings in past and has been raising awareness that there is going to be capacity crunch coming. So just to be fair, yeah. Oh yeah, no.